I Am Someone by Aminata Aidara. Translated from the French by Eve Anderson and Charlotte Coombe. Read by Charlotte Coombe. Somewhere in Paris, a girl named Estelle is meeting her father. As he walks towards her, face closed, she knows she won't be getting a birthday present. A single thought crosses her mind, it's crystal clear. So be it. Before going into the bar, they barely exchange a smile. They greet each other with a kiss on the cheek. Her father takes a deep breath, and without so much as a "how are you" or an "I'm fine, thanks," he blurts out, "Your mother dared to have a child behind my back, with another man, and you've probably—" He clears his throat, making the sound of a derailing train. "Yes, as I was saying, you've probably always known about it." "What? What am I supposed to know?" she asks, alarmed. "You've always known about this relationship," her father replies. He looks at her, a puffed face lit by a ray of sunset. She looks worried. Quivering, he adds, "But you never told me." Those are his first words. It's Estelle who chose the meeting place. The young woman studies the cigar her father is holding. She should answer those tobacco-stained lips, or at least reach out and clasp those yellow-stained fingers, to make peace, and then never talk again, about anything. What's the point in talking? Her father turns his sweaty face away. Estelle seeks out the tiny, close-set eyes shifting behind his glasses, but he doesn't return her gaze. They find a table in the bar. The girl contemplates his hands. She remembers when she was little, how she used to pretend his index finger was the long neck of a brontosaurus and the nail its head. Estelle would move his hand, making the dinosaur walk across a napkin. She closes her eyes. Let it come back, the brimming world of her childhood. A dangerous world, for sure, but one she's learnt to tame. And yet, the way she saw things back then, when she cherished what seemed to be simple yet also profound mysteries, is now just a memory. Since arriving in France 15 years ago, her nights are devoid of dreams, and on the map of her life there is no trace of where she is right now. Lost is the sole coordinate. Her father looks at her for a moment. Then, still sitting remarkably calmly in the low armchair across the table from her, he picks up where he left off. "I didn't want any of this," he says, "but your mother's torn our family apart." He raises a hand to summon someone he thinks is a waiter, and adds, "She's totally destroyed it." Estelle looks out of the window and feels useless. A random person, born at random, living a random life. What is the point of her, actually? And would there be any point in telling her father that this bar doesn't do table service? She lets him wait. A hostile feeling is warming her chest. Gradually. She frowns. "There's no need to pull that face. If only you'd said something, things would have probably been different," her father continues, assertively. "But you kept quiet, Estelle, and I'm convinced you attended your mother's secret rendezvous. All those times you went out with her, just with her, you were always with her. You've been her alibi for years, haven't you?" Estelle thinks back to those afternoons spent at Cindy's, her mother's Afro-American friend, the one waiting for her on the beach, over the sea on an island formerly inhabited by slaves, Gorée Island. While her mother disappeared off, she played endlessly with Cindy, listening to her stories. She should never say anything about it to anyone. That was the rule. Confronted with the girl's silence, the man shrugs, arms spread, powerless. Then he rests his hands on the table and says, "And if you didn't know, it's time you knew about this illegitimate son. In any case, he wasn't a well child, and he died a few days after he was born. Your grandmother, Mammy Ishir, is the only one who knows about this business, and now you're old enough to know about it too. You're the same age your mother was when she had him. You're an adult. This is my gift to you on your 26th birthday, Estelle, a truth you didn't know. This will teach you that every choice we make has consequences." Is she really unaware of this birth? Hadn't she actually seen this child a long time ago? Or could it have been a dream? She wonders why she suggested meeting her father in this bar, why she chose to meet him in a place so close to her heart. She's partied hard with her friends at the Père Populaire. She's tasted happiness. She's run wild, flayed the nights, gutted loves. Here, the forever burning fire inside her can crackle peacefully, flare up furiously, go out and spark up again in a flash. There aren't many places like this bar, where it isn't illicit to flirt with the boundaries of the unspeakable, When fueled with various substances, even the slightest sideways glance from the staff can unveil the underlying abyss that consumes us all. Estelle always finds it comforting. Why is it, then, that these savvy mixologists who've seen her in all kinds of states now refuse to come anywhere near her table and take the order her father thinks he's called for? They've seen her, but they ignore her. Maybe alerted by the look on Estelle's face, the girl behind the counter lets her know, with a discreet shake of the head, that they can't make any exceptions. Estelle interrupts her father. "Hang on a second. I'll get the drinks. What you having?" "A double malt beer," he replies abruptly. His beady eyes scan the bar, outraged by the lack of table service. Returning from the bar, Estelle notices her father has pulled out an envelope from his briefcase. "Here's some money your sister Florette wants to give Virginie for her child. Don't tell Sonia." Estelle takes the envelope and shoves it into her backpack. Accomplice, scapegoat, double agent. This is what her family has reduced her to. A fluttering in her heart reveals anger held back yet again. Then the normal rhythm returns, of the heart, the breath, of life. "Don't you have anything to say?" her father asks, crossing his arms, probing. "No," she replies, feeling the stab of guilt always awaiting her on the threshold of any expected answer. She hesitates briefly, then adds, "Actually, yes. Thanks for this revelation. I really need it to live." "To live?" he asks, half sarcastically, half surprised, cheeks wobbling as he shakes his head. "Yes, to live better. Thank you. I mean it." Estelle pushes her untouched Diabolo away, but the glass topples, spilling all over her. Retching, she runs out of the Père Populaire. Once outside, at the crossroads by Buzenval metro station, she breathes in huge lungfuls of polluted air. She is free. She won't go back in. Meetings with her father can end like this sometimes. Nothing new. Hadn't he told her once, "You're someone who throws life's details in the bin. You're a superficial person. You've got no manners, no discipline. You don't know how to greet people or how to end a conversation." He was right. Estelle meticulously rids herself of life's meaningless niceties. As she jumps over the metro turnstile, she thinks that in fact it's time to take a leap backwards, towards her mother, towards herself.